What's the motherfucking deal? I apologize for the slight tardiness. I had to feed the dog. I had to feed Fat Scotty. Oh, there we go. That should be a little bit better. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. Means we're talking, well, on this channel, only Texans. And follow the link in the description to check out the other channel. Just go to saucesports.tv. And I'm going to start putting some content up on that, you know, going into the All-Star game. You know, I know spring training is about to get going, and if it hasn't already gotten going. And so we're definitely going to be talking about plenty of that. Give me a second. Let me get the chat going here. But, again, so I want to welcome everybody to Sauce Sports. Let me get these things in order. What's it going to do? All right, we're going to see what we got joining us tonight. If you don't know how it goes, man, hey, we're going to get a little bit of a Sauce Nation roll call. I got shit all out of order. Y'all got to give me just a second. Hold on. Now, man, do I got it on this one? I ain't got my thing on there. All right, anyway, a little bit out of whack today. But we're going to have a Sauce Nation roll call. If you don't know how that goes, man, hey, you know what? If you are from the greater Houston area, shout out your side with pride. If you're not from the greater Houston area, then, you know, it's still all love. Still shout you out. We'll see who got joining us in here. We'll see which fresh ingredients are joining us tonight. I say, ask Mel. Excuse me. What's the motherfucking deal? Seth Clark. What's the motherfucking deal? Miss Voodoo C. One half of the greatest moderating couple in all the land. Jimmy Cruz, Fifth Ward in the house. What's the motherfucking deal? That boy Los. What's the motherfucking deal? H-Town Sports. What's the motherfucking deal? Wink. What's the motherfucking deal? Jay Dizzle from the land of the trio. Oh man, I didn't check. Man, I ended up resetting my phone and doing so much, so I didn't even check it. I just ran back down. So it's all Gucci. If you're good tomorrow, we'll go fed tomorrow. Because I was kind of running late. I sent the message all late and shit, so that was all on me. Voodoo Child, what's the motherfucking deal? Darren Davis, a.k.a. Swisher Alfredo, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Mr. Killer KB, Michael Sherman, what's the motherfucking deal? T-Real, H-Town Lifer, We're Badass, Fernando, Roman Kemp, your boy Roman in the motherfucking house. Southside still holding already. Let's see. Galveston County already. Let's see. 290 Shawty, what's the motherfucking deal? Make sure I ain't missing nobody. El Lobo, man, El Lobo, always good to see you, man. I know you've been putting in the work, so it's good to see you. Tremaine Ford, what's the motherfucking deal? Dez Buckets, what's the motherfucking deal? Scrooston Ghost, what's the motherfucking deal? Scott Lauderdale, always good to see you. Let's see. Homer Side, nigga. That name is just thrown off, but it is what it is. So, man, we're gonna talk about some things tonight, man, and we're gonna open up the line, it's fucking Friday, man. I feel like it feels like we ain't done a fucking Friday in forever. I don't know if I miss last week or did we just not been in action. I don't know what's been going on, man. I don't know. Like I said, everything got to get back in order. I think I did miss last week because I know I took a few days off last week trying to get everything together. Studio Woodhouse already. So we gotta get everything back and we gotta get the sauce back stirred properly. And so let's get some of them fucking Fridays in the chat, man. I want to know how y'all feel, man. Look, if y'all done had a bad work week, if y'all done had y'all school, y'all was out of school today. I think people was. I don't know what the fuck. I know some folks was. I don't know what the fucking holiday is. If you had your teacher getting on your nerves, your significant other getting on your nerves for Valentine's Day and shit, she wanted some more extra shit, and you was like you wasn't feeling that, fix this chair too. Boss getting on your motherfucking nerves, kids getting on your nerves, dog, whatever, your neighbor, whoever, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Let me get one of them good old fucking Fridays. I want to know what's on y'all mind. How you fuck whatever. And then if y'all call into the Sauceline, y'all got to get something off your chest. Feel free. Y'all know how that goes. But in anybody who, because like I said, the old Sauceline was still active, I think, until yesterday. So anybody who's still using that number, y'all might as well go ahead and discard it because that number is no longer in service, or it won't be accessing that. But with that being said, so fuck work. Matthew trying to recruit AB. Man, shout out to I saw that little bit in the motherfucking chat where I was talking about on the hop on the hop fucking Graham Live or whatever they told that nigga to recruit AB. That nigga hot face was like, fuck that shit. That's fucking funny. So here's the deal, man. Let's talk about a couple of things, man. The nigga who could, what's the motherfucking deal? Fuck the Chiefs. I see you, Vampire Lord. Fuck them. But here's the deal, man. Fuck Sterling High School. The school is trash and organized as fuck. They say, fuck working with the boss's brother. Feel like you don't got to do shit. Fuck them kids. Y'all already know how that go. If y'all been in the den, y'all already know, man. Fuck them kids. But not R. Kelly style. Don't do that shit. But yeah, man, fuck that. I know how you talking about when, motherfuckers who have siblings who are higher up and they allow them to kind of do whatever on the work site. That shit is trash. You say praise God, the author and the finisher already. Well, God damn it, that's some nice stuff. You're supposed to say fuck something, god damn it. But here's the deal, man. Jack Tripper, what's the motherfucking deal? But looking at the Texans right now, free agency will be coming up soon, a couple of weeks. And it just seems like this, it seems like the beginning of the year is already flying by. It seems like it just turned 2019, but, we're already midway through February and counting. A few more days before the franchise tags, you're allowed to start doing that. And that's kind of something I want to get into because, of course, we have a big name on the squad. And I think we have two sides of the fan base when it comes down to it. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Shout out to David Lale and Texans Takeover. I'd seen a post there and it made me think. And I seen that post and it was just like, you know what? You motherfucking me absolutely right. And that is, if Clowney stays and we pay him, Texans fans will complain. If Clowney goes and balls somewhere else, Texans fans will complain. Similar to A.J. Bouye style. A.J. Bouye been gone a few years now, and we are still complaining about some old Miss Bouye. You know what I mean? And if you're a PFF or a stat sexual, they claim that Jackson and Joseph actually played better than Bouye did this season. So, but again, for some reason, we just love the name Bouye. Let's not act like. And again, I like Bouye. He had a solid season there, and he was improving and everything like that. But let's just not get out of hand. I think sometimes we get a little out of hand with the Bouye love. It is what it is. Austin Tucker, what's the motherfucking deal? But yeah, there is no win-win situation. Say, damn, you in New York? It's cold in that bitch. But here's my deal. Yeah, fuck 610 with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest, the only person I really like is X610 is like Seth. And he's like the only one that's actually distinct. Like if you just had everybody talk, I really couldn't tell you who any of them are. Only one I can tell distinctly. So all the rest of them sound the same to me. But you say, you look at Clowney. Let's look at Clowney's situation. And the thing about Clowney is this, okay? You got a couple of options. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm kind of vacillating between option 2 and option 3. Option 1 is you let Clowney walk, okay? Get nothing in return. You just let him, ride off into the sunset, and not have any kind of level of control as to where he ends up. You have some teams in the division that have a little bit of change. You have a former position coach in the division who is now a head coach. Tay Hill, what's the motherfucking deal? Appreciate the love. I need to put that. I should put that. Let me put the audio on. I appreciate that super saucy super chat. But then you have a position coach who's in the former league, a former position coach. I don't know how he feels about him. He may like him. I'm not sure what that relationship was like. So if you don't do anything with Clowney, you have the potential of him going somewhere here in the division where he knows at this point currently he could probably thrive against this offensive line 2 times a year, have a field day as it's currently constructed, and do what he wants. Or you have options 2 and options 3. Now, option 2 is you sign Clowney. And if you're signing Clowney, for both sides to come to an agreement, it's going to be a solid contract. I couldn't guess that he would want less than, $100 million contract. And again, who knows? We heard rumors at the beginning of last season that they tried to come together and they tried to make some things happen, but obviously the numbers weren't where he wanted them to be. So that's interesting to figure out what numbers those would be. But then you have a situation where, and this is where I think a lot of fans start to say, hey, abandon ship, is they don't want to pay him that money. They think that, Clowney's not worth it. We shouldn't pay him that kind of money. He's overrated or overvalued or whatever it may be. But is it worth it if he potentially goes elsewhere in the division and then you have to deal with him 2 times a year for the next 4 or 5 years? And again, knowing you got Deshaun and everything else that goes with that, would you rather be on Clowney's side or facing Clowney, or having Clowney somewhere else, anywhere else in the league where you may see him once every 4 years? Another thing that you got to think about is this, and this is option 3. And option 3 is you franchise tag him and then you trade him. Now, this is a very interesting option simply because the Raiders have shown some interest in Clowney recently. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see a situation like that where the Raiders have a lot of first-round picks. They could spare a couple. I think the franchise tag, you're going to pay him a nice chunk of change, whether he accepts it or not, whether he wants to play that deal or not. Again, you have the ability to kind of control the destiny. And it sounds like some hoe ass. I hate saying that shit. It sounds like some hoe where you can control his destiny, because that's the one thing I hate about it. I mean, I'm all for players getting their money. I'm all for players being able to, do their thing. But I'm a fan of the team, not the names on the back, even though if they play for the team, I'm a fan of them too. But then you have leverage over what happens, but is there a talent? And again, I think you'll have some picks much earlier in the first than what you have. I don't know which all picks the Raiders have, but I know they have a few of them. And so that could put you in a position to get some of that more necessary talent. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm curious if a deal can get worked out, and the reason why I say that is we'll know soon. You haven't heard much talks. Again, it's not that time of the year quite yet, but if you see them go ahead and lay that franchise tag on them, you could tell that things kind of fall through, and they haven't come to an agreement. And let's be honest, sometimes players don't. I mean, maybe he might not mind. I don't know. Sometimes players don't care for playing under that franchise tag situation. And if he's disgruntled, he's not happy, doesn't want to be here, you may see one of those Mac type situations where he goes elsewhere. So it'll be interesting to see what happens though. You say send Clowney to Arizona for Peterson and a mid-low pick. My thing is, if you're gonna get rid of Clowney, I would like to get younger. But then again, is there a talent? And this is what you got to think about. Like, I would have to say that it would be more than just a first round pick. But then people, so they'll argue no double digit sack seasons, but you could throw in tackles for loss, which is the same equivalent. I mean, you can argue a couple of things for Clowney. But yeah, I think you'd have to be a big trade. There's no first round talent out there, in my opinion, right now. I know they talk about the Bosa kid. I like Oliver and some other things, but overall, those aren't really positions of need. And why would you replace that with that? I don't see an offensive lineman that would be worth just one further. I mean, if you're looking at that first round, you're looking at it as basically as an exchange. So you're looking at it as, I'm trading this first round I'm trading Clowney for a better pick. And I don't see that. I don't think you'll find a legitimate quality first rounder that's worth it. And if you don't get if you're not getting an offer for a first, then you don't take that deal. I mean, I know a lot of us can think we want to think about Clowney, but if you're not getting a first, no, you don't take that deal. Like, if nobody's offering, they're not offering you for, I don't care how many twos you want to put and everything else. And again, yes, you can find talent later in the draft for cheaper and all that. If you're not getting a first round pick for Jadeveon Clowney, you're getting hosed out of the deal. And I don't care what anyone says about that, regardless of how you feel about Clowney, the numbers, because again, I think sacks are glorified, but they can be a bit overrated. You know what I'm saying? And I would agree with that. Like, I think you have to give a first, and you're gonna have to get an additional pick with that. I would say I would love to see 2 first. I don't see anybody coming off 2 first. It would be ideal, but I would say a first. I was thinking more like a first and a third, but I agree. If you can get a first and a second and squeeze up out of that, maybe you have to come off a later round pick or something like that. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I wonder if Clowney, himself would like to get out of this whole linebacking situation and really get his hand on the ground, because, excuse me, I think the Texans are fucking misusing him. And that's my biggest frustration, because I think, like, in the same manner in which, to me, Andre Johnson got hoed and by Kubiak, by not truly letting him shine in the red zone. He'll use him in between the 20s, but then in the red zone, fucking, it's all Arian. Andre had to work really, really hard to get his fucking touchdowns, and that bothered me. But my thing is Clowney in a similar situation on the defense, like, where, yeah, you're letting him have some freedom and do some things, but it's mainly at that linebacking position, and he'd be much better with his hand in the dirt, getting after the ball, instead of dropping in coverage and doing all that dumb shit. So I feel like, as I say, I try to look at it from the player's perspective. I try to look at it from the organizational perspective, and then I try to look at it from a fan perspective. From a fan perspective, I want him on the team. When he got drafted, that was the draft pick I wanted. The 2 draft picks that I for sure wanted that we got ever in this history of this organization. DeAndre Hopkins was the pick I wanted before the fucking draft, and we got him. And, of course, Jadeveon Clowney. And so, Dread Gang. As a fan, I want him on this team. I'd hate to face him. Again, like I said, if he has the opportunity to get in the division. From an organizational perspective, you're going to try to play him and say, well, these are your numbers. This is what you did, this, and this. But then I think as a player, you can argue, well, y'all aren't catering to my fucking skill sets. Y'all are trying to do some of this fancy, and I don't mind. I'm a player. I'm not going to complain about it. But y'all are kind of putting me in a whole ass position. He could probably argue that he felt like he was healthy this year to play early, and they didn't play him. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens ultimately with that. So that, I know I've seen the Honey Badger thing, and we had been talking about this back and forth, about not reading too much into the tweets. And he even tweeted out, he never said he was going anywhere. So I know people were getting anxious about that. Oh, Honey Badger's going to leave. Again, tweets are interesting. If we don't know what a player is thinking, what they're thinking about, he could have been talking about a vacation. He could have been talking about anything, But as far as recruiting, who knows? Who knows what these guys are thinking? So, interesting story. Interesting, very interesting story. Before we open up the line, Kaepernick getting paid. They're saying I think his they're saying something like 49 million, something like that, something of that nature, 49.5 possibly, out of this whole collusion deal. So that tells you that there was definitely some evidence and some things that were going on that they've come to find out. Now my deal is this. Now get your fucking $50 million, all right? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And go play in the fucking the AAF and just go wreck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Go fucking wreck that shit. And if you go over there, you ball and you dominate. And the thing is that they offered him. They said that, the AAF had offered him, but he's like, nah, he wants $20 million or he ain't gonna play. I was like, okay, well, good luck with that. Now that you've gotten paid, you got a comfortable nest egg, go do what it is you truly want to fucking do. Go do what it is you truly want to fucking do. D. Pritch, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Go do what you want to fucking do now that you got your money. Because when I heard that before, this whole settlement, like I said, I didn't even realize the case was, going on like it was. But when I heard that he wanted $20 million, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? This dude smoking that shit. Like, come on, man. Like, play football. That's my deal is, I'm not telling you, because AAF, I'm saying, did I say AFL? AAF and NFL are different entities. So go play, show the world that you still have skills. And I think that only strengthens your case because you go to the fucking AAF and dominate and wreck and show that you can ball and that you're a game changer. So all those people who try to say, well, he's not that good. He's not good anymore. And then you kind of got to quiet that down if you prove them wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's my deal. Like, I think if you have an opportunity, you use that opportunity to prove them wrong. But again, another conversation, another time, another place. But he got paid, so we'll see what happens after that. So, it sound like a den conversation. Let's see. We try not to talk sports in the den, but we know what happens. People call in, talk about sports. But here's the deal, man. This is what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna open up the Sauceline. Give me just a second, and then we'll take some calls, man. Come on, man, I need to hear some fucking Friday. Y'all just had a good week. I mean, y'all was feeling that lovey-dovey for Valentine's. Y'all was just having a great week. It wasn't no fuckums. Y'all just feeling great, huh? Just everything is just peachy keen in your world. Nah, fuck with that's all good. I mean, hey, if you having a good life, you having a good week, good day, whatever the fuck it may be, hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's get the numero for the Sauceline. Hold on, you trying to do me bad, Xfinity? I'm looking at you. I'm watching. Give me just a second. Hold on. What's going on with this deal real quick? All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the Sauceline this evening?
What up, Asmel?
Asmel, what's the motherfucking deal? Asmel, what do you want to drop on the Sauceline tonight, man?
Well, I could complain about this fucking crazy ass week, roller coaster week, but I ain't gonna complain because I had a handle, so ain't much to complain about there. I mean, people took L, I won 1-0. Yeah, man, I'm out the Clowney thing. I mean, you gotta pay this man. You gotta pay him because your franchise. I mean, they gave him that bonus about being a defensive end instead of a linebacker, so they gave him that bonus. I don't think if they weren't planning to sign him, they were gonna give him that bonus. Yeah. They did make the mistake of not freaking coming to terms last year because he would have been a lot less expensive. But now I'm thinking he's looking to get, like you said, the $100 million. So it's probably going to cost us like $19 million a year. Just pay the dude. You got enough cash pay to do it and sign either Tyrann or Kareem or both. So you could do that. I mean, even the resigning of everybody else that you need to resign, including one of your backup QBs and the $10 million that you'll probably need for these picks that you're gonna get, and then you'll probably end up. I think Sticky made a video about it. You'll probably end up with a good $8 to $13 million left in cap, where you can use it on a guy like Bell, or you could use it on some lineman like the guy from New England. I know you want to stay away with, but that dude be plowing freaking dudes in the freaking line, especially if you saw against the Chiefs. That dude That dude got people running over each other. That'd be nice if the New Englanders didn't pay him, but especially because I think they already got the dude they drafted in that position. So if they're not willing to pay him and they think he can get a contract, I'm sure he'll be on in the market. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man. I mean, out of everything, I think they're gonna pay this dude. They're gonna give him his money. And I mean, has he earned it? I mean, when you compare like Watt's $100 million contract to his, no, not truly. But to Stiggy's point, like, he is impactful in big games. I know we continue to give J.J. Watt this excuse about injuries, but obviously he had something going on with his knee because he had to go get that, checked out. And Clowney, the thing about Clowney with me is the thing that kind of triggered me is kind of like O'Brien one time said, whenever Clowney's body's feeling good, he has a good game. Well, shit, like, what do we got to do to get this dude's body feeling good every week? Because that's the type of shit that we need, especially if you're looking to get a $100 million contract. Like, I mean, you're getting that type of money. Like, I'm sure the organization expects you to be taking care of your body in the off season and during the season. So ultimately, the scapegoat for that was the training guy that they brought in. They made it an excuse, making it seem like, he was going back home, but they let that dude go. So they're bringing Brian Cushing in, I guess, to strengthen these dudes, pop them some PEDs, get Cole back on track, because he's been falling off. He had all those injuries this year. Shit, he wasn't on the field as much, so I'm sure Cushing's coming to punk Blue. They resigned Blue as running back, punk him a couple of times, maybe make him a better running back out there. But, yeah, man, that's pretty much all my thoughts.
All right, man. Appreciate the call there, Asbel. Hey, look, that might be a good reason to resign Blue. Let Cushing, get after his ass. Let Cushing strap up the helmet one good time, rough him up, talk a little bit of shit to him. Man, some interesting points there, though. Compared to Watt, and you look at it, of course, I think Watt was just – I mean, who do you really compare to Watt? Because even Aaron Donald, even though people tried to make the case, well, look at his stats. Watt had better stats than Donald did. It's just timing, man. It's timing. Timing is the motherfucker that affects the money. And what the market dictates, that's kind of what you're going to get. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den? I mean, the den, the Sauceline. The fucking Sauceline is, I've been in the den too goddamn much. What's the motherfucking deal? Roman, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop in the sauce tonight, man?
Damn, Honcho, you ready to get to the den at 10, ain't you, boy?
Got some shit to talk, man. Got plenty of shit to talk in the den tonight.
Hey, man, I already know, man. I'm gonna be there, bro. Especially it's Friday, I'm off. I'm gonna be there, bro. But like I say, shout out to you, man, Ron, Ted, everybody, man. I don't want to go too long this time, man. And kind of like last man went off, man. My week, shit, I didn't have a good week either, bro. That school so unorganized. That's a whole video if I can make it. But let me get on this topic, man. Let me stop lying. About Clowney, number one, man. I think I've talked to some people, and I think some people think, oh, Roman, you don't like Clowney. I like Clowney. I do, because when Watt wasn't in the game and we seen the production him and Merciless did, I mean, they were destructive. Don't get twisted. We was the number one defense. And we was just destroying fools, man. It was great football. And I think the Texans always thought, you know what, if we can keep Merciless, Watt, and Clowney all healthy, right, then this team will be destructive. And this year was the year, because all three of them stayed healthy. They might maybe have minor injuries, but still, they didn't miss multiple games, So I think we went into the season expecting these three to all pit up there and there at least 10 or more sacks, because that pressure it is. We just started. Now, I know a part of that goes on play calling with Romeo Canal, but this is why I have my problem with Clowney, man. If I'm correct, didn't Clowney only put up 9 sacks? Yeah, it was 9, right?
9.5, yeah. I think he was just right
there.
It
was 9.5 sacks, which is, I'm not saying that's bad, but Clowney, when you have somebody like JJ, who just came off it was a leg injury. It was a leg, chest, I forget, it was a leg injury, I think. When he just came off of that, and JJ picked up how much, 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah, seems up there.
And he's coming off an injury. JJ's not the same. JJ's getting older and all that. Clowney, we're expecting for you two, because everybody says how good this D-line is, to work together. Clowney, I'm not saying you have to have 20 sacks. I'm just saying at least get a good 12, 13 up there, you know, and I know you had the tackles for loss, but I just don't see the chemistry with Watt and Clowney, and that's why I have my issue. I'm not taking away from the man's talent. I just don't know why these dudes are not working together. Because if they come together and they do what they're part to do, man, this team can be destructive. Like I said, I know Park does go on play calling, but still, it's just I don't see it in Clown. Even when Ashmore said how his body feeling right. Connor, are you okay? What's your diet? What are you eating? Because we expect you to be better. Like, is he on the right diet? It's like I don't know. I'm just not seeing the production from we've seen last year. I mean, the year before that. So this is what I think, man. Most likely, I think he will get resigned and get his money. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to get paid, but I just don't think he deserves to get something like a Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald because they're destructive. They destroy games. I like Clowney, but Clowney doesn't destroy games. You know, and I know who I'm saying that. I know the whole chat gonna get on me for saying Clowney doesn't destroy games. I'm ready for it. But what was I about to say? Yeah, so this is my thing. Why don't you trade Clowney, right, Honcho? Yeah. Trade him and try to get at least, if you can't get it first, which most likely you would, if you can get it first, and go trade him to somewhere like Minnesota, where you're never going to see him damn near. You might see him next 4 years, or go trade him somewhere with corner talent, with O-line talent. Let's see, for this one player, let's do a Herschel Walker trade. Let's see, for this one player, we'll get multiple players to help this O-line and these, to help this O-line and to help these corners, because that is our main concern. I feel like we have dudes like the Covingtons all to step up for Clowney's job, you know, and that can really do other impact. It's time, I keep saying it's time for them to step up. It's time for Merciless to step up. I mean, I think if we do that, that is just magical for us. I think that is a perfect thing. We can see if we can go trade him for some corner and some O-line talent, you know. So, oh man, that's something else I was about to say, but yeah, that's my thing. Now, but personally, I think he's gonna get signed. Which, look, if he gets signed and Clowney go picks up 19 sacks, or he go pick up about 16 some sacks, I'll eat the crow. I wouldn't mind because I do like Clowney. But right now, how I'm looking at it right now, man, I think we should trade him, see if we can get some talent for him. So it's your boy Roman, man. I'm out, man.
All right, appreciate the call there, Roman.
Man, anytime.
Already. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening?
What's up, man? It's your boy Mike from Virginia.
Mike from Virginia. What's the motherfucking deal, Mike? What you want to drop on the sauce line tonight, man?
Man, I'm gonna be real with everybody on the line right now, man. I have a lot of concerns about where we're going and the direction we're going, particularly in free agency, particularly with Clowney, with Matthew, with Jackson. I mean, it's just a very interesting time for us as Texans fans, but as an organization too. It's a lot of questions out there as far as what this team is thinking, what Gaines is thinking, what Cal's thinking. It's just very, very, I guess you could say, a little nerve-wracking right now as far as where we're headed. As far as Clowney is concerned, you know, I think Clowney needs to be real with himself. You know, Clowney is a good player. Don't get me wrong. I've seen this man wreck games like it was nothing. But I agree with a lot of people. He is not no Khalil Mack. He ain't no JJ. Clowney needs help. He needs help from his other defensive players to put him in position where he's at. And on the second hand, too, I mean, we can be real about it. As much as Clowney is a great player, he also can ruin games for you, too, as far as penalties and just doing what Clowney does because he just wants to do it. But overall, I'd love to have him back in H-Town. You know, I think, without a doubt, one of the best players out there as far as defense. But I think the bigger picture that we need to step back and look at is just the overall direction of this team. You know, as Texans fans, when nobody says, we know we close. We've been close for a while as far as finally getting that trophy. this year, this off season, this free agency can really tell a lot as far as our team going up or going down. Now, I will say I do have some confidence in Gaines and Kyle to do the right thing, regardless of what O'Brien would do. But it's still, man, it's just a real shaky time right now as far as we're kind of on that pendulum. We can go left or right. I just don't know. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so, we get some clarity as far as what we're doing when it comes to getting ready for, our next season. But, yeah, it's just a real overall interesting time right now as far as it being a Texans fan and just to hear what's going on with the team,
So I got a question for you, Mike, man. Is there a particular move, if you had a choice, I know there's a lot of factors that go into a lot of these things, but if you had a particular choice or a move that you would specifically make to improve this team, man, what would you do? Who would you go after, or what move would you make?
Well, I think you got to resign what you have that that works. I think we all agree that the Honey Badger, Kareem, Clowney, I think they contribute to the success of our team this year. As far as going after people, I think you have to address the offensive line some way or another as far as free agency. Maybe from the kids, maybe from the dude from the Patriots, somebody like that. And I would even look at possibly, too, a cornerback somewhere, too. Now, on the cornerback issue, I think we do have some decent cornerbacks if they would just get off the belief in Jonathan Joseph. I think that when we had, I think Tyson was in there, Jameson was in there. I would love to see Webster play, but he was hurt the whole season. But I can see what he can do. I think we're missing what's his name, Kelly, was out for the year.
Yeah.
So I think there is some potential as far as we're okay in that position if they can stay healthy. The same thing with receivers. But whatever we do, we got to be bold and just go do it. The GM Gaines needs to just say, you know what, the hell with this. The hell with being mediocre. Let's go do it. And I'm a little open the fence as far as 50-50 when it comes to this whole Bell situation. Bell was a phenomenal athlete, player, don't get me wrong. But you got to ask yourself, too, is it fair to say that Miller needs to go when we don't really use Miller like we should? I don't know. I don't think it's fair to say that right now. I think we maybe, we give him another year, fix the line, and see what he can do. But by the end of the day, though, talent is talent, and there's better talent out there. We should go get it. No doubt in my mind, wherever it may be. Another issue, too, that we don't really talk about, and maybe you can answer this question, Honcho, special teams. When was the last time you seen the Texans run back a punt, do something even spectacular on special teams? It has been, in my opinion, a very long time.
Shit, who was
and I'm talking about like
Jacoby Jones. I'm thinking, was Fuller the last one we saw?
It might have been.
It was a few years back. And then the little dude, what's his name that they brought in this year? I think he was kind of explosive. He had a couple of opportunities, but those fumbles were a little scary at times. The Carter kid, DeAndre Carter. And I like what he brought towards the end of the year. But again, like I say, I think just being able to hold on to the ball was an issue with him. But I think hopefully if they bring him back, I would expect to see him do something because he came close a couple of times.
Yeah, and then another thing I would address too, real quick, is who is the secondary or second string quarterback? If Watson gets hurt, who's going in there? Are we saying that Wheaton is the man? Because I can tell you right now, I always thought Webb should have been second string. I know they put him in different positions, and he's a very talented dude. They use him in all kinds of ways on the field, but to say that Wheaton is our man in case something happens to Watson, I don't know about that. You know, I'm have very, very I'm very doubtful with that. And the simple fact is this, you know as well as I know, if I play with a certain quarterback as a lineman, I know what he's thinking. Watson, you know, hey, if it ain't there, I'm gonna make something happen, or I'm gonna take off and run. You know, I don't see us. To me, it doesn't make sense that you would change the whole dynamics of how you're playing by bringing in pretty much a passive passer, and Watson gets hurt. To me, it wouldn't make more sense to put Webb as second string because you're not losing a whole lot as far as what he can do. He may not can do as much as Watson can, but he's that same type of quarterback. Yeah. And if you remember a couple of years ago, the Seahawks, they had Wilson and they had the kid from TSU, Boyu, until he started acting a fool and started getting in trouble. Yeah. But you notice what they did. They kept the same talented quarterback within the position in case something happened to Wilson. We need to be thinking the same way because it's just, I don't know, this whole Wheaton thing, this whole Griffin thing, Blue. I mean, I can name about 10 players, and you ask yourself, we playing these dudes for what? Kevin Johnson, we paying these dudes for what? I mean, I just don't get it, man. And I look at people like Atkins and Thomas. These dudes are beasts, straight beasts, and they don't even get used that much, man. It's just, like I say, overall, I like Clowney, but he needs to be real with himself as far as what he is and how he works. I would love to keep him, I'd love to keep all of them if we can. Yeah. But it's just a very interesting time right now to where we can really go up, or we can go down. And I hope that for the fans' sake, for us and for our diehard Texans fans who were older fans before that, they do the right thing and make the team better. Yeah. Because we're the ones that fill up that stadium. We're the ones that go to these away games, buy the jerseys, you name it. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see in a couple of weeks,
Yeah, it's going to start soon, real soon. I mean, it seems like it got pretty quick, so we'll see what they're thinking, what moves they're making, and hopefully they don't do like my motherfucking Rockets and miss out on all the goddamn opportunity. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But yeah, that's what's happening, man. Mike, I appreciate your call there, man.
Oh, no problem, man. Like I always do, shout out to all the soccer players out there. My daughter plays soccer, so I got to give a shout out to all the soccer players.
Already.
But yeah, man, I love what y'all do, man. Keep going, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have some interesting conversations in the weeks to come.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Shout out to Mike. Shout out to the Dash. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the Sauceline this evening?
Yo, Honcho, this is Scott.
Scott, what's the motherfucking deal? Scott, what you want to drop on the Sauceline tonight, man?
I've just been listening for a little bit, wanted to kind of put my sauce on a little bit of things y'all been talking about position-wise.
All right. So what you want to drop? How you feeling about the positions?
You start off with Clowney, and I heard today, it was an interesting side note, I heard that the Steelers are potentially putting the transitional tag on Bell, which means they're going to try to milk some trade value out of him even further if they can, potentially.
Interesting.
And if they do something along those lines, if you were to franchise Clowney and make a move like that towards somebody like Le'Veon, if they had possession over him, that'd be a great move, I think.
Okay.
But I'd be open to trading, franchising Clowney and trading him off to Arizona for Peterson and maybe a second-round, third-round pick,
Okay. That's interesting too. That's a real interesting one there to me because I think you get a position of need. At least you fulfill a void that you have.
Yeah, and what else y'all been talking about? I think Rack, I think, could be all right. Everybody's been kind of writing him off. I think he could do all right. I think he just needs some better middle position coaches, some linebackers and some cornerback coaches on the ground to let his system run more appropriately. I think he's still got the mind for it, but I think he has too much on his plate the same way Bill O'Brien does. But I think Bill O'Brien's still going to be calling plays this year, so that ain't going to change nothing, you know. What else I got down here? Whoever was talking about Webb being number 2 needs to go on and walk off with that stuff. Webb is not a number 2 quarterback. He is a similar style to Watson if he was playing in the AAF. But when he comes in here with some real pass rushers, he is not the same man. He won a bunch of preseason games. That's real nice. He's a great special teams player. He's a great member of the team, but he is not the number 2 quarterback. He ain't going to save you in the regular season if somebody goes down. And then what else we got? Well, I think we go ahead and go ahead and let go Ryan Griffin, Alfred Blue. They ain't nothing. You don't need them. They're just wasting up cap space. Kareem Jackson can go ahead and walk, and we'll re-sign the Honey Badger. I've been cussing at Kareem Jackson for the last 3 or 4 years. I've been screaming at the TV at that man, and finally he moves to safety, and he thinks he's going to get a big old contract because he played one good year. I don't think so. But I think that's all I got, Honcho. So let's see what you got on that.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely we'll spill some sauce on that, man. I appreciate your call there, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Already. Man, a lot of a lot of very interesting calls, man. A lot of very interesting takes. The Webb situation, I find that interesting. Like I say, I'm 50-50. I don't know if Webb is the guy, but I agree with what Mike said about having a similar style there, because ultimately I think that does help out that offensive line, especially with some of the youth we have and then some of the guys that are just not that good. When you have to get them adjusted to 2 different types of quarterbacks, I think that causes a problem. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the Sauceline this evening? What's the motherfucking deal? No.
Get this proper perspective the way we always do on the sauce. Honcho, you played a DN and you've made the move to an outside linebacker.
Hold on 1 second, Wick. Hold on 1 second, Wick. I need you to repeat that first part because I ain't had a thing. He was getting on Roman ass for a second. My fault. Just that first little part about the transitional situation for Clowney. My fault. I had the
okay. Oh my God, yeah, bro. You can't, bro. We got to get it while this sauce is hot, bro. Like, no, okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start the shit over. We're gonna say everything over. Roman, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about in terms of when it comes to positions and how hard it is to go when you played a 4-3 defensive end your whole life. To have the athleticism and to be able to not only get to the best quarterbacks in the biggest spots in every single game that he has played since he's been a Houston Texans pass rusher. That's number one. He shut down Todd Gurley, every single major running back in the league that has ever went against Jadeveon Clowney has been. You can't do anything. He affects play action. Dudes eat around him. His first step is second to none. He probably has the quickest first step in history as far as defensive ends go. And Honcho, we're gonna bring you into this because you play both positions. Now I want you to tell this man how hard it is to go from a 4-3 defensive end to an outside linebacker, whether that's Jack, Will, or Sam.
Man, it's a whole different ballgame. Because what you got to understand, man, when you playing in space, it's like playing a completely different sport. I mean, especially when you used to basically having your hand on the ground, basically rushing the pass, keeping contained, things like that. It's a different feel. And so that's why I say I do have a lot of love for Clowney, because I feel like they don't use him properly. Because I remember the first time they moved me to outside linebacker, and I was out there trying to tackle a receiver in motherfuckers. But I felt like I was on a motherfucker that island, that Revis Island shit. That I got left alone, or I got abandoned on the island. I got embarrassed so motherfucking bad, like it hurt my feelings, made me want to quit. Goddamn! But so the fact that this man has been able to transition and still relatively play at a relatively high level. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's not that we're not seeing the numbers we want, but I don't think that's on him. You know what I'm saying? I think that's
but bigger than that, Honcho, the X's and O's and how quick it is to have a brain fart to lose containment at outside linebacker. Tell these people, because you've done this. You have to tell people, because people don't understand. They think this shit, pass rusher's a pass rusher. Bro, you don't understand outside-inside leverage. You don't understand how dudes can kick out. And it's a lot about this sport that y'all don't understand, that you think the shit, because you can call out some shit and you can run single back A's. You think as you see gun splits and all of this shit on Madden, y'all think y'all know sports. Y'all think y'all know football. Unless you have been on this line, it is not as easy as it looks on Madden. It is not that simple. You think you just finna go ahead and put a middle linebacker over a guard, and you think you finna go ahead and spot a D tackle, and you finna crash everybody in, move them over to the line the way that the dude is rushing over the guard, and everybody finna get in screaming. It don't work like that in real football. It does not work like that when you picking somebody up, and when you got and for him to have the recovery time and athleticism to be able to make some of the moves and stuff that he has. Now, is he always maximizing his length? Sometimes he doesn't. Can I say that sometimes he gets out? Does he get kicked out when he's not taking? I think he's so long, he hasn't been able to fully develop the bend needed to get around the edge as an outside linebacker. That's another thing y'all don't understand. The bend you have to have versus being an outside linebacker to a defensive lineman is totally different. Now, am I right or am I wrong saying that, Honcho?
Absolutely right on that. Absolutely.
Okay, so when you look at the bend that J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless have, Whitney Merciless probably has, him and Von Miller probably have the most perfect bend at the outside linebacker spot that people have had in years. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know how to crank those hips, they know how to dip down low, and they know how to use their length, strength, speed to power to be able to fish, to get through and make sure that they getting to the quarterback on a consistent basis. If that's the case, everything you saying about everything y'all saying about Jadeveon Clowney, why in the hell y'all not saying that about fucking Whitney Merciless? Because at the end of the day, Whitney Merciless is suffering from the exact same thing that Jadeveon Clowney is suffering from. And let's be even more real. J.J. Watt is the only one who's played his position the right way since he's been here. He's always been a 4-3 to a 3-4 defensive end. Not only does he have the 6'5" size, the 290 speed, and the pushing power, bro. He's always been an interior. He's always supposed to have been an interior player, and a 3-4 defensive end is essentially a D tackle in the NFL. When you run 3-4 over and under, and you have your outside linebackers, guess who's bumped on the inside and who's taking up the guards and the tackles? J.J. Watt is on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that a lot of people don't understand, and they think that it's just so easy to make that transition. And Khalil Mack played outside linebacker at Buffalo, if y'all don't remember. You see, it's so easy to go from outside linebacker to defensive end. That's an easy transition. That's just like you trying to go from free safety to corner. It don't work that way. You go from corner to safety. So enough with the semantics as far as that goes. The caller who said that we needed to trade, the dude right before me, the dude that said that we needed to trade Clowney for fucking Le'Veon Bell or Patrick, bro, what the fuck are you smoking? Who in the hell trades a top end pass rusher for a fucking running back who can't even get in the league and who can't even get paid by any football team right now? That's number one. Patrick Peterson is 30 years old. You do not trade. You trade Jadeveon Clowney for Jalen Ramsey. You do not trade Jadeveon Clowney for a player who's 30 years old or getting to a 30-year-old point. You do not do that. And back to Roman's point, there has been no pass rusher, no top end pass rusher, not Bruce Smith, not fucking LT, not any of these guys, Reggie White. None of these guys have ever been traded for no top end left tackle and or guard. Because the protection of the quarterback is key. You pay those guys to get to those dudes. So why in the hell would you ever trade a top-end pass rusher for an offensive lineman? Nobody, not Jerry Jones, not anybody is doing that. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of dudes don't understand football because if you did, some of the things that are getting said, and, you know, let's just be real, bro. Madden is the main reason why a lot of dudes know football in the first place. If you didn't have Madden, if you couldn't see NFL concepts, which we all don't understand because it's a totally different language reading offenses and defenses at the NFL level. You think when they call out plays, they say, okay, 4-3 over, let's Mike Sam 2 blitz, bro. They ain't talking like that. No, they ain't talking like that at all. They don't talk like that at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's a dope. I can almost guarantee you if I had to ask y'all who the X and the Y is, you know what I'm saying? If I had to say who's the Z in the formation, half of y'all wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. So it's just like, bro, I understand we fans of the sport. We all got an opinion. But if we're going to talk football, and this is a major reason why Sauce Sports is for people who don't know football, take it from the people who actually know and play football at some level or not. It hasn't really changed much. It's the language and it's the level of play that changes. It's the athleticism, speed, power that changes. It's the clutchness that changes. It progresses to each level, and you only get better as it is. So everybody who's demanding this shit, okay, when y'all think about Jadeveon Clowney, who was his first 2-sack game against? I know exactly who it is, and I know exactly when it happened. But to everybody, you know, who thinks like who's gotten to Tom Brady more in the last 3-4 years than Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless, and Von Miller? It ain't fucking no Khalil Mack, and it damn sure ain't Aaron Donald. It's Jadeveon Clowney. When we watch this man in playoff games, when we watch this man getting sacks, taking that hoe to the house, when we see this man rushing straight down the middle and can't nobody touch him, and when this man is doing whatever the hell he want to do to their running backs and the top end quarterbacks in the game, then what everybody got to say? You think Khalil Mack ain't doing that? Khalil Mack ain't getting to no Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. He ain't getting to them type of dudes. Tom Brady, Khalil Mack, all this nigga got is a bull rush. If that nigga can't beat you with that, he don't win matchups. He ain't fast enough. He got strength. We'll give him that. He don't have speed to power like that. He don't have an assortment of moves like that. He don't have no swing moves. He don't have no spin moves you can bank on. Don't let Madden and don't let the fact that he played for the Oakland Raiders and the fact that he got 15 sacks once in his career really misconstrue y'all and who a great football player is. Y'all don't know what y'all sitting on right now with Jadeveon Clowney. And if you ever put this man in a 46, if you ever put this man in a 4-3, this nigga's going to lead the league for years.
I wish they would.
That's my call, Honcho, bro. I can't take people. I can't take listening to people who don't really know the sport, bro, like that. Like, I can't take that shit, bro. Like, this shit infuriates me. And, bro, Jay Dizzle, I need you to come through, bro. I'm giving you the alley hoop right now. Bro, you got to finish this shit. And anything that I got wrong, bro, you go ahead and clean it up because you already know how it go. I appreciate it once again, Honcho.
Already, wait. Yeah, man. So, again, like I say, I don't think there's nothing wrong with people throwing their ideas out there, but I understand where Wayne coming from, man. Texas T, what's the motherfucking deal, man? But definitely, I think the biggest takeaway from that though is that how Clowney has been being used, and I think that's something that we've been harping on for quite some time. Hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the Sauceline this evening?
Well, damn, I got murdered.
What's the motherfucking deal? What is your rebuttal? Your
look. Damn, everything Wink said was right. Okay, I'm not about to go back and forth over an issue. He's right. Look, Wink is older than me. Wink knows some things I don't know. So you know what? I don't take it as an insult. I take it more as something I probably need to learn and research on. Mm-hmm. So I'm not taking it as disrespectful. Like I said, we have all opinions. He said that some stuff he said was right. This is all I'm saying about Clown. I think Wink was kind of saying, look, I've never talked about Clowney's talent and what he's done for the team. Clowney, when he's healthy, has done a great job. I'm not saying that as a player. I'm just saying. And I'm just saying this, look. When it comes to him, Merciless, and Watt, right? I just want to see how in the best way can we get them to work together. That's all I'm saying is, what can we do? And we kind of hit on the point. We probably need to switch it to play better to their play style. I'm just saying, how can we get them into the right position to work together? Another point. Clowney, multiple times, has been undisciplined this year. Now, I think that's something we can totally agree with me on. Clowney can be undisciplined at many of times. So I'm saying, how can we get him to fix that? Even that. Clowney will show up a couple games. There's a couple games he won't show up. So think about it. How can we help his play, like I was talking about before? See of some of his diet or something we can do that. I'm just saying, what can we do to help? And this is why I'm saying trade Clowney. I'm saying trade Clowney not because I don't respect his talent and what he's done for his team and how great of a player he is. I'm just saying, fix what we want. Now, that's correct. We can't get him for an old lineman, which I'll blame. But you're telling me you wouldn't trade a person like Clowney, a person with very destructive, right, for some great cornerback talent. There's great cornerback talent all across the league that you can go trade him for outside of the division. You don't have to trade him in the division. Go get some other cornerback talent. I'm just saying, it's other people I just feel like can step up, or we can go draft somebody that can just fill that role. I think it can work. I do. Now, he has a point. We might step back on run defense, but our pass defense and just our defense in whole, it might not even give a chance for the quarterback to do anything. So I'm saying we have to get better at that quarterback. Because how many times, Honcho, you can agree on this, we've seen the slow quarterback like that, run outside of us. We're slow on the outside. How can we get faster? Who can we get? How can we fix? Because I'm not calling Clowney slow. I'm saying it's just something we can do to get him faster. Because we are getting killed on the outside, especially some running backs have done it, and especially quarterbacks have done it. So, look, like I said, I respect what Wink has said, bro. He kills me. I'm dead, and I'm out, man.
Already. That's a bell, Roman.
Anytime.
All right. And into what he was saying about getting faster, like I say, I think because there's been a number of times we've seen, and I'm not knocking JJ, I'm not discounting anything he did, and I think he could be just as much of a dominant force on the interior. That I feel we need to move to a fucking 4-3. I think that's what this talent on this team is best suited for. But for some reason, or not that some reason is, that's Cornell's coaching style, and that's part of my beef with Cornell. And again, like I say, he's done it for so long. He's done it for damn near 40 years now. So certain things are just, it's just not going to change, man. And so I wish I wish it would, but it's not. And I think, so like someone mentioned about, maybe the position coaches, or I don't know what you can do to change this team. But first and foremost, I think it needs to start with, changing the defense, because this is not a 3-4 team. This is not what they're best suited for. Again, you should have Merciless and Clowney on the edges. Let Watt work on the inside. You have a lot of solid D-line talent that you can rotate. But, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. So, we'll see what happens with that. Ultimately, we'll see what happens. Everybody pitching $5 for Clowney. What y'all talking about? I missed some of these comments. How's it go? Honey Badger gets the stop. But again, man, it is what it is. But here's the deal. I'm waiting out. Is the Dizzle man? Is he coming through? Because I'm gonna get ready. Look, I'm fucking hungry. I ain't ate shit today. I fucking was taking care of shit. So I'll get ready to wrap it up here shortly. But if Dizzle man want to wrap it up. We usually, and I'm trying to remember today, so next time it won't be next Friday or in the middle of the week be no fuck Honcho on the fucking Friday saying he forgot about me and all that good stuff. But my thing is with Clowney, and again, if Clowney was on the line, that's all he had to worry about. Because again, the complexity of the scheme, your thinking changes when you step back from having your hand on the ground to that 2-point stance. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den? No, the fucking den, the Sauceline. Goddamn, see, y'all know my mind there, goddamn. Who we got calling into the Sauceline this evening, man?
Yo, this Jay Dizzle. What's up?
What's the motherfucking deal, Jay Dizzle? What you want to drop in the sauce tonight for the people, man?
Okay, here we go. First of all, Honcho, I'm finna get on your ass.
All right, what you got?
For real. The Kaepernick thing.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing wrong with the motherfucker asking for $20 million.
Man,
why not?
In the AAF? I don't even know if the whole AAF got $20 million.
No.
That's
Tell me why not, though.
I ain't got
Can you give me one good reason why not?
I have no problem with the man asking for his money, but I'm just saying be realistic
So
with
then
that
what's the
situation.
issue?
Man,
What's the issue?
play the damn game.
Look, hold up, bro. I'm finna get into that.
Okay. Okay.
Because right now you sound like one of them NFL owner motherfuckers. That's what you sound like. Hold up. This is why I'm getting on your ass right now.
Right.
See, Wink, yeah, he got on Roman pretty good, but I'm finna get on your ass. I'm finna learn you something. Niggas, and hopefully this get through them old boat ropes you call dreads on the side of your head and get to your brain. Hold up, Screw. Hold up.
Oh, God damn.
First of all, we don't know how much they profiting. The owners, as far as the AAF shit, we don't have no clue. I'm pretty sure he has a better idea than we do. So either way it go, if they not making as much, I can see your point a little better. But if they are making if he asks for $20 million, what they making, then I can see closer to my point. So I'll give you a little leeway right there. But that's it. That's all you get.
Okay.
Second of all, if he do decide to play, if he does play, and he go out there and he ball out, what the motherfuckers gonna say? Well, yeah, of course he did that against lesser competition. These people can't even make it in the NFL. So they're gonna use that as an excuse. Second of all, Colin Kaepernick is not Johnny Manziel. He didn't flop in the motherfucking NFL and had to go play for a lesser league. He didn't flop. He was starting for a team. He didn't fuck that team over. That team was terrible. And everybody knows that you can make as many excuses as you want to. That team was ass. San Francisco fucking sucked. Okay? Point blank, period. So, and even then, he's still better than half the NFL starters we got playing right now. He better than 99% of the backups in the league. I'll give you the dude from Philly. I'll give you him. But that's about it. And if you try to use that other excuse, because motherfuckers are always quick to come up with a reason why somebody can't ask for their money or why somebody can't do shit. Well, he's been out of the league too long. Y'all Houston Texans fans, right?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember we signed a dude named Josh Johnson to play on our roster?
I don't even want to talk about that.
Dude hadn't thrown a pass in, I don't remember how long it was, but I know it was more than a substantial amount of time.
Wasn't it like 2011
and we
or some
fucking
shit?
signed him.
It was like it was.
It was bad.
It was a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad, and he was garbage. He ain't never took a team to the fucking Super Bowl. So you can't sit up here and tell me that Colin Kaepernick can't even be a backup in this fucking league, bro.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. That just deletes all arguments right there.
Yeah.
So, other than that, Honcho, cool. I got you.
But my thing is, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Kaepernick. My thing is just my whole thing with that was $20 million from the AAF. As far as his NFL, man, I'm not mad.
What's wrong with asking for it to see if you can get it or not?
Them tickets $18. They ain't got 1 million people in them damn stands.
Honcho, when you start a negotiation, do you start low or do you start high, my nigga, when you selling yourself?
You start. I ain't mad at you, babe. I ain't mad at you. You got to get up there.
Answer the question.
Okay, you start high.
You
start high.
Honcho.
But I mean, you got to be reasonable. You got to be reasonably high. This, he didn't even, at that point, they didn't even know if the league was gonna last, man.
Hey, look here, bro. If they willing to pay it, fuck it, why not? If I got to play in this old bullshit ass league, I might as well get paid, bro.
Okay, I feel you on that. I ain't gonna knock nobody money. That's my thing. I'm not gonna knock nobody money, but I'm just saying that situation.
Who's not gonna watch that shit?
That situation look. It was just that the financial status of that league in the inaugural season. I was just questioning that decision, but I ain't mad at him. He's getting paid anyway, so I ain't mad at him on that.
If them motherfuckers got enough money to start up a whole fucking team, they got $20 million. You kiss my ass, that shit. I don't want to hear that. And plus, with all the hitting that they doing, you can get hit low and all that shit. He get hurt. He might as well get a hefty contract, bro. Why the hell not? I start high too. But anyway, I'm tired of shooting your holes in your argument. That's enough of that.
All right.
I'm just gonna use my ammunition for something else. Jadeveon Clowney. All right, look here. You dead ass wrong, Honcho. Dead ass wrong. Well, no, I'm not gonna say dead ass. You mostly wrong.
Okay.
About trading him to somebody that we don't get it first, we shouldn't do it. No. And this is where you're a hypocrite, because I've heard you say this before. If you're gonna trade him, we might as well trade him for an established NFL player. Because number one, if we do try to get a draft pick, can we really trust our drafting?
No.
Can we really?
No.
Now, the only caveat I will give you is if we do get a first-round pick, if we draft any other position than the pass rusher, I don't even know, bro. Because I will give us this. We have been drafting pass rushers really well. I'll give us that. But if we get anything other than that, I don't know, bro. I really don't. I really don't. And since I did say that we should trade him for experienced players, I got to trade. I'm not gonna just say that we should do it and then don't come with an example.
Okay.
And I had to give it to Wink because I was thinking Patrick Peterson and just some kind of lineman from the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. But he's right. Patrick Peterson, he's not 30, he's 28. Mm-hmm. So, but he's damn near 30. So, okay, Wink. All right. I think we should trade him to the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And I think we should get Big V, the left tackle, mm-hmm. and Crevion LeBlanc, their cornerback. Now, I'm not saying that I like them because of draft stock or whatever. No, I like them because I've seen what they can do in the game. I've watched them play. And Crevion LeBlanc, he jumped off the screen for me. I'm like, I like that dude. That dude got a lot of fight in him. And he plays tough, and he is a press corner. I like that, and he got good size. And the best part about both of those, neither one of them is older than 25. So, Wink, you had a good point with the age shit. Now, I'm not saying that Big V is a solidified, bona fide left tackle best. No. He's better than what the fuck we got. Yeah. Okay? It's the upgrade. It's an upgrade at both positions, no matter how you look at it. And, of course, we'd be missing Clowney. Look here. I like Clowney. I like his – I'm not going to even say I like his talent. I like his athleticism. As far as talent goes, his pass rush moves ain't the best in the world. If he can't beat you with pure athleticism, it's a wash. I've seen games this past year when it's supposed to be his contract year, he getting blocked one-on-one by a tight end and he can't get by the dude. I'm not paying nobody $100 million that can't get past a tight end, bro. I'm not doing it. When have you ever seen they try to block J.J. Watt with a tight end and he gets stuffed one-on-one with a tight end? You don't see that. If they send in the tight end at J.J. Watt, that's just the first of the many ways. Because he going to get the tight end, then the tackle, and then the guard, and then probably the running back going to try to cut him after that. That's $100 million worth. Clowney, like, once he just get blocked, bro, it's just like he just stopped. And no, I'm not paying $100 million for that, bro. Fuck no. He can kick rocks. You need to trade that boy. But, again, like, and you know what? Finna shoot at your ass again, Honcho. The A.J. Boye shit.
Okay.
I forgot to write that down. You're going to say we need to pump the brakes, you know, we always look, Honcho. The reason we mad about A.J. Boye because we let him go for nothing.
Yeah, I can understand.
Okay, okay, I get that. But now, the team did offer him a contract, and he turned it down. Now, they didn't offer him more because they didn't think that he was worth that money. But they knew damn well once he got on the free market that he was going to get offered more than that. So if he's not that good of a player, why would they think that he wouldn't earn that money on the free market? They knew he was a good player. They let him go anyway. That's the problem I have. We drafted him. Well, no, he wasn't a draft, was it? He was a walkover, right?
Yeah, I think he was undrafted.
Yeah, he was undrafted. Yeah, so we knew what we had in him. Why would you let that go? You knew he was one of the bright spots in corners, and he's a young player. Pay that man. Why we keeping old-ass J-Joe? We knew old-ass J-Joe was going to come out. I mean, shit, he going to start slowing down at some point, bro. You got to have some kind of a next man up mentality.
You know Rick wasn't paying no corners, man.
Yeah, I know that, and that's the problem, bro. Like, come on, stop bullshitting. Stop bullshitting. Mm-hmm. And the two people who were going back and forth about the backup quarterback, both of y'all some goddamn fools. Both of you. What the fuck are we really talking about? Because point blank period, bro, if DW4 go down, we done.
That's true, though.
We done. We all fucking well. We done. done.
This is true, man.
I'm talking like the people going off at the fry machine at McDonald's. Done, my nigga. No, it's a wrap. And to sum everything I just said, none of all of what I said / proposed don't mean shit if our coaching / play calling doesn't improve. None of that shit matters.
This is true.
At the basis of if the team ain't set up right to where the players can be successful, we're gonna be doing the same shit. We're gonna win a bunch of games, get to the playoffs, and against teams who got their shit together, who come with a strong game plan that works, we're gonna get washed again.
Mm-hmm. So I got a question for you though. That makes me think about something. So do you think that shellacking against the Colts in the playoffs, do you think that's going to change anything in what Bill O'Brien does next year, or do you think he's going to cast that off to lack of talent?
No. Because all we're going to hear next year is the same old shit we've been hearing for the past 5 years. Why would a leopard change his spots now? He is who he is. He's a fucking leopard.
No,
it took y'all 5 years to realize it. It took me 3, which is still kind of long, but I ain't got no faith in O'Brien, bro. I'm out. I'm out on him. Yeah. If we win this shit and he proved me wrong, I love to be proven wrong. Prove me wrong, bro. I hope the fucking God you prove me wrong. I'll eat crow every stream if I have to. I don't give shit. Shit, I will, bro. Yeah. But I'm out on O'Brien. I'm out. I'm finally out. I'm done. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt last year. Y'all let y'all talk me into it because I was going against what I was seeing. Whether y'all perceive it as being negative or not, I know what the fuck I was seeing, bro. Yeah. And I went against it. Let y'all talk me into it, and then I fell into the same trap as the rest of y'all. I became a fan again. Instead of being perceptive.
Then he wrecked a Ferrari and ain't have no insurance. And so yeah, it was
pretty much.
It was a bad situation, man.
Yeah.
Man.
But anyway, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Wink, Wise. I feel for you, brother. And feel for you too, Wink. Hopefully the weather don't get you too bad over there, because I know another storm headed that way. And anybody else up north, man, y'all boys be careful and watch your ass out there.
All right, man. Appreciate the call there, Jay Dizzle.
All right, man.
All right. Man, look. I'll take my shots, man. I ain't got no problem with it. Look, you know. But my thing with Bouye is just that it's just really about at this point, just really I mean, because I know I still see fans talking about it, and that's my deal with that. It's just like, man, hey, it is what it is at this point. Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat real quick before we get ready to wrap it up. Big Al, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's the motherfucking deal, Big Al? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well, or, you know, things are going in the right direction, man. H-Town, Texas, on my fire, bro. Yeah, and I'm on that train, man. I have no problem. Like I tell you, I'll eat the crow buffet from last year. I tried to, you know, I was trying to celebrate. Hey, a win is a win. But if we're gonna ride the win thing, a loss is a motherfucking loss, and that loss that we took negated any and every win that we had, because that's the loss that ended the motherfucking season, and it ended in a terrible way. So, you know, it is what it is. It's just like right now, and what's going to happen is there's going to be some things that's going to make us, that we're going to be like, okay, cool, you know, good stuff happening. And there's going to be a lot of things we're going to see that are the same. And I don't know what to expect going in next year. I'm not optimistic, because again, like I said, I look around the division, the Titans, and I'm not saying that they just gonna beat us, but they're a much more aggressive minded team. They're willing to do things that we're not willing to do. The Colts, talent and aggression, much more so than we are. These teams are trying to beat people, and not just beat them, but beat them down and keep them out of the game. O'Brien just wants the numbers, and I can understand it, because that's the principle of winning. But at the end of the game, he just wants our numbers to be, as long as it's 1 point higher than the other team, no matter how ugly it is, and even when it's unnecessarily ugly, you know, it validates it. Instead of saying, hey, we need to be able to show that we can handle motherfuckers. We need to be able to show that we can dismantle teams. We can knock the fucking the moral, not the moral victory, but just basically, like, say, demoralize them. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. We can demoralize other teams and get them mentally out of the game. That Colts game, that's what we were demoralized in the first quarter. When you looked at the bench after they went up 21, you looked at that bench, the game was over. The game was done, and that's how you knew it was done, because people just looking on the bench. If it wasn't me, shit, it wasn't me. It was that nigga, you know, pointing fingers and shit. Not necessarily pointing fingers, but, you know, it was done. And so we can't be in situations like that. If we can't, and I don't think we really did that to any other team this year outside of Miami. And we really go back and look at the wins that we did have. And again, yeah, when you're being objective and you go back and look at it and say, yeah, man, this was, it really wasn't what it was. It was a favorable schedule. Some things rolled our way. But in reality, it wasn't even necessarily talent. Yeah, there were times that execution was poor, but execution comes down to your coaching. If your coaching is not top notch, then you'll put guys out on the field who can't execute the plays that you want to run. If you're putting people in bad situations, if you're trying to wear too many motherfucking hats, make me think of that old fucking book. I don't know if y'all remember that shit. Some of y'all still young. When he was young, you used to read that fucking caps for sale. That motherfucker had all the fucking caps on his head. That's O'Brien. But he ain't selling the caps. He wearing all these motherfuckers. Niggas just want to wear all the goddamn caps and don't want to fucking sell none of them hoes. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be the only motherfucker that's strategizing to be in a bad situation. Yeah, like, it's like, you know, they say thoughts become things, you know. And instead of planning on how to win big and get a big victory, it's like he plans on being in a tough, hard-fought battle. And that motherfucker be more excited about the fucking hard-fought victories than the fucking blowouts. That's the crazy shit about it, man. That's the wild shit about it. So, like I say, man, it is what it is. Oh, bro, I remind my cousin, he don't care what the bitch look like. He happy to be as a pussy. It be like that sometimes, baby. That's a perfect analogy. But you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. Something got to shake, man. something got to shake. And I honestly feel like if there's not an improvement next year, Cal got to look at this situation and say, okay, yeah, it's time to be looking elsewhere. Like, I really, truly feel that Cal has to be looking at the situation and saying, okay, if Bill O'Brien's not showing me what I want to see early on and showing that we have a dominant team, especially with a guy like Watson, I think we're going to end up going into a different direction early in the season. Like, if we start off and the record's not good, we start off with 0-3 again, I expect to see something different. I expect to see some change. But here's the motherfucking deal, man. Here is the motherfucking deal. About to get ready to wrap it up. Hey, man, y'all already know what it is. I appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all the fresh motherfucking ingredients. But, hey, Jack, make sure you slide through the den at 10. It's going down. The den been wired up the last few nights, man. It been doing some things differently, though. We used to have a den crew. It would stay about, the upper teens, sometimes in the 20s. That motherfucker been jumping to 60, 70 motherfuckers lately, and it's been real interesting. It's a very interesting conversation going on. So, man, make sure y'all slide through the den. Come join the conversation. We're all friends in the den, whether you agree, disagree. It's all about expressing your points. So make sure y'all check that out. Link should be in the description, or go to thedenshow.com, and it'll take you right to the channel. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Dripping Sauce, same sauce time, same sauce channel. 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Tell your friends about it. We're gonna make it shake. If you're not on the second sauce, I saw somebody ask about the second sauce channel. I'm gonna start dropping some shit on there real soon. Matter of fact, y'all stay tuned, because I may post it on the community tab if I go live on there or do anything on there, because I am gonna start talking more Rockets now. I'll start breaking everything with that coming up, or with that happening. And, kind of just start speaking a little bit more on Harden and what he's got going on, and some of the nonsense that people are talking about. PG is in the conversation. PG ain't in the fucking conversation. And then, underestimating what Harden has been doing. So, but with that being said, chunking up a deuce. Y'all cool. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, man. I'll catch y'all in the den if you're there. If not, I'll catch you tomorrow at 7. Hey, shout out to everybody. Shout out to the roundtable. Shout out to all the callers. Shout out to everybody who've been showing love, man. All the day ones and the day todays. I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. With that being said, y'all stay saucy. Go to staysaucy.com to get you some of that merch, motherfuckers. Goddamn. With that being said, man, hey, I'm out. Y'all be cool.